recordar a. Recordar a means to bring to mind or to remind of. But we're talking about you remember, you smell something and that reminds you of something special that happened in the past, or it brings something to your mind. It's like, oh my God, I remember this smell. It was from this time, or I remember the music, and just reminds me of my family, my friends, this person. Okay, so we're talking about brings back memories, bringing back memories. Okay, so let's look at some examples using recordar a. Okay, a is important to use in this situation. Okay, ¿a qué te recuerda? ¿A qué te recuerda? This means, what does it remind you of? Okay, so this is interesting. Where is a? A is at the beginning. A. Okay, so that's because it's a question. ¿A qué te recuerda? We have recuerda here. That's the verb recordar. Okay, for the personal pronoun you. Okay, you're asking this to one person. ¿A qué te recuerda? So this is remind you of, by the way. Whoa, what is happening? Wow, this is, what the? Where, I remember putting this here, but I don't know why it's here. Wow, okay, hang on. There you go. Okay. Let me just do this. There you go. Okay, sorry about that. Recuerda, remind you of. You is here. Okay, te. I know you in Spanish can be tú, but also can be te. It depends the verb and the question and what you want to say. What does? We really don't have this, but we have what, and what is here. Okay, so remember, in Spanish we don't have does or do. The verb do in questions, no, we don't have that in Spanish. So we just need what, te, right? Que, te, and then recordar a. ¿A qué te recuerda? What does it remind you of? That is the question here. It means that. I know it's very different. It's very different. Look at that. What is happening? It's very different, but that's how it works in Spanish. ¿A qué te recuerda? What does it remind you of? And then you can say, me recuerda a. Okay, me recuerda a. That's a, you're answering this question. Me recuerda a mi familia. We could be talking about a movie. We could be talking about a song, about a smell, about a place. But essentially what you're saying here, it reminds me of my family. Okay? So recordar can work really well with reflexive pronouns. Me, te, le, se, nos. Okay? So me recuerda means it reminds me of. Okay? Me recuerda a it reminds me of me, my, familia, family. Okay, so obviously you can change this to something else, but the interesting thing is that we have recuerda. What is going on? Essentially, you are, using recordar a. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're not talking about remembering. You're remembering, but it's more like it reminds me of something. So keep that in mind. It's quite interesting. So let's move on. Let's see what else we have here. We have another example. Okay. El olor de las galletas recién hechas me recuerda a la cocina de mi abuela. This is a long example, but you could say it fast. El olor de las galletas recién hechas me recuerda a la cocina de mi abuela. So, el olor, let me just say it slowly. El olor de las galletas recién hechas me recuerda a la cocina de mi abuela. Okay, so this whole thing means the smell of fresh cookies brings to mind my grandmother's kitchen. Okay, so it reminds me my grandmother's kitchen. Okay, interesting. Let's break this down. El olor means the smell. Okay, el olor, the smell. Of las galletas, the cookies, technically, but in this situation, we just have cookies. Galletas means cookies. This term right here, recién hechas, means fresh, specifically when talking about food. Okay, we could be talking about bread, cookies. Usually you're talking about just, pastry and different kinds of bread. Pretty much anything you can find at a bakery. It could be used for food in general, but it's used specially for those things that smell really good or taste really good when they're freshly made. Okay, so like cookies. Me recuerda a. We have it here as well, right? Me recuerda a, similar to saying brings to mind or reminds me of. Okay? It reminds you of. In this case, we're talking about cookies, right? La cocina, technically you're saying the kitchen, but we have just kitchen here. De is similar to saying apostrophe S. They can also mean of or from, but when talking about, grandmother's kitchen, so the kitchen belongs to the grandmother, so then it's similar to saying the apostrophe S, okay? Abuela, me, by the way, my abuela, grandmother, okay? Abuela, mi abuela, my grandmother, okay? So, that smell must be good.